Hey, what is up guys, Phoenix here, and welcome to our first part of our Glamrock Freddy pixel art tutorial. So, actually not where we last left off because this is part one. I do this so often I always forget. So, where we're going to start for today is going to be at the bottom left base of the build, and you're going to need about 175 to the right to about 175 up in space. So if you're trying to figure out like the dimensions, the width and the height, I would give it about 175 by 175. And we're going to be starting on the left side, so all your space should be to the right from here. Anyways, we're going to start off with our blocks of coal and our grass blocks. And if this is your first time on the channel, that's how we usually do things. We do the outline and then we use the dirt blocks to kind of help us bridge pieces together. If this isn't your first time, sorry, I have to explain this to the new guys just in case, so that way they don't get lost. Typically when we build pixel arts, we do a lot of diagonals, meaning like the blocks don't touch, but they kind of complete a shape by touching at this diagonal, as you can see. So the way we're going to be building is, if I'm telling you to put a placement block above something or to the right side, for example, that means we're going to use it to bridge to go up or to the right. So if you hear me say we're going to go up and to the right 2 flat, we would put our placement block to the top or right side and use that to put our block of coal up and to the right 2 flat, like so. And you can always get rid of your dirt blocks once you're done with that, but that's just kind of how we bridge things. If I was to say up and to the right 3 singles, we would put our placement block to the top or the right and go 1, 2, 3, and that's just kind of how things work here. Anyways, let's delete all of this and get started. So the first thing we're going to do to start today is we're going to start from the ground, and we're just going to put 3 pieces of coal going straight up. So 1, 2, 3, perfect. Then I want you to put a placement block on top, and for this part we're probably going to keep on putting placement blocks on the top for a couple of blocks, and we'll switch directions when I tell you we are. So from here we're going to go up and to the right 2 singles now. So 1, 2, and then we can delete those placement blocks. Up and to the right 2 vertical, so placement block to the top or right side. 1, 2. And as we progress into the tutorial parts, I'll stop being as descriptive with the placement blocks. You'll kind of just know what to do. But for the early parts, I do kind of like to talk a little bit extra just to make sure you guys have proper pacing and you're able to follow along. From this 2 vertical, we're going to put a placement block on top and go up and to the right 1 single. Placement block above that, so that way we can go up and to the right 2 flat. 1, 2. We're then going to go up and to the right 3 singles, so placement block 1, 2, 3, just like that. And right now all we're doing is shaping out the shoulder. He has this shoulder pad thing that we're about to get started into, which is why I said we're going to be switching directions fairly quickly. But for the first part of every build, I always like to just get from the left to the right side of the pixel art, just so that way we can know what our width is. And then I worry about height later, because usually I don't have to worry about the height because I'm on a pixel art flat world. I strongly recommend you guys always build your stuff on a flat world. That way you'll never have to run into height issues. Also, never give your friends permissions on your flat world. There are 0 reasons for somebody to have permissions on your pixel art world. They shouldn't be building on your world. It's your art world in the first place. I can't tell you how many times somebody messages saying their stuff got deleted, and it's kind of annoying because it's like, why did you give permissions? The person doesn't need to build. It's your personal art world. Sorry, I got distracted. Anyways, from those 3 singles, we're going to put a placement block above and go up and to the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Up and to the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. And here's where the direction switch comes in. From this 2 vertical, we're going to go to the top block, so this one right here. And we're going to switch to our coal and put 1 to the left and 1 to the right side, creating this mini T shape. From the left block, we can continue with it, but what I want to do is continue working with the right and trying to get to the other side. So we're going to mark this left block to come back to later. And from this right block, we're going to put a placement block to the right side of it, like so. So that way we can go down into the right, so underneath it, 3 flat, 3 times in a row. So 1, 2, 3, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, that's 2. And remember 3 times, so 1, 2, 3, that's 3. Perfect. And you can get rid of these extra dirt blocks now. They're only supposed to assist you, they're not supposed to stay there. Unless they're like marker blocks like that one over there. From there, we're going to go down into the right 11 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we can go back and delete this now. And from that 11 flat, if we go to the right side of it and we count back 3 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, that third block right there is going to get 2 pieces of coal underneath it. 1, 2. We can mark those 2 coals we put underneath and come back to it later. But what we're going to do is go to the right block with this last block in the 11 flat. And we're going to put a placement block to the top or right side. So that way we can go up into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Placement block again. Up into the right 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from those 4 singles, if we go to the top one, we can put an extra coal to the right side of it, like so. And from that extra coal, we're just going to put 1 on top and 1 below. Now from there, what we're going to do is go to that 1 on top we just placed. And we're going to go up into the right 1 single. Placement block. Up into the right 2 vertical, and we're going to do that 3 times in a row. So 1, 2, that's 1. Placement block on top. 1, 2, that's 2. Placement block on top again. 1, 2, that's 3. Very easy to follow along. And I'm probably going to have to adjust my cameraman. As you can see, we're running out of space. We're almost at the halfway point on the cameraman, but we're not at the halfway point on the build. So that means we're probably going to have to shift them over a little bit. That's okay. Anyways, from there, we're going to put a placement block on top and go up into the right 1 single. Up into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Placement block to the top or right side. Up into the right 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from that 4 vertical, the top block is going to eventually connect back to the left side of the shoulder over there, so we can just mark it, but we're not going to be working with that today. Instead, we're going to go to this second to last block from the bottom, so this one right here. And we're going to switch to our coal and put 2 to the right of it. 1, 2. Perfect. We can then put a placement block to the end, and for this next portion, you can actually put your placement block to the right side every time you're done with what I say, and that should save you some time. So from here, we're going to go up into the right 5 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Placement block on the end, like that. From that 5 flat, we're going to do 2 things. First, we're going to start from the right side and count back 2 blocks. So 1, 2, like so. And that second block is going to have 1 coal above it. And you can mark that. That's actually going to be his chin. So when we're starting to do the face, we'll come back to this. But for now, we don't need to do anything with it. Instead, we're going to go to that placement block we put at the end of the 5 flat and go underneath it. So that way we can go down into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Placement block on the end. Down into the right 5 flat again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it gets big right here, so make sure you count carefully. We're going to go down into the right 46 flat. So the way I suggest doing that is either breaking it into smaller numbers, or if you're a pixel art expert, you can probably count this just fine. You can do 4 groups of 10 and then a couple of 6s. I'm just going to count straight through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 4. And then 6 more now because that's at 46. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now for people who count very fast or might accidentally double click, maybe mark every 10 blocks. So that way, let's say you got 11 blocks in and then messed up over here, you would know you can just delete all of this and start from the last 10 you saved. All right. So that's a nice way to put some marker blocks there to help you save some time. From this 46 flat, if we go to the second to last block from the left side, so this one right here, all the way close to where we just started building, we can put a placement block underneath it, like so. And then 1 coal underneath that. And then from that 1 coal, we can put 7 more to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we can just mark this entire strip. This is going to be for his bow tie and stomach when we do that later. But like I said, in the first part of every tutorial, I just like to get from left to right on the pixel art build. Just make sure we have the character grounded to the floor, and then worry about other details in case we didn't meet our time limit yet. So flying all the way to the right side of our 46 flat, what we can do is put a placement block to the right side. So that way we can go up into the right 6 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up into the right 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up into the right 7 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from that 7 flat, if we start from the left side and count to our 3rd and 4th block, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so these two right here, we can put 1 coal above each of them, like so. And this is going to be where the other side of the chin starts. So we had the first side over there for the left side of the chin. This is where the right side of the chin starts. We're not doing that today, just wanted to have it marked out. Now if we go to the end of the 7 flat, we can put a placement block at the end and go down into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Then from that 2 flat, we can put an extra coal to the right side like so. Except from that extra coal, we're going to put 1 below and 3 on top. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to mark that 3 on top, or just the top block and that 3 on top, because that's going to be the right shoulder pad. And we're going to work with the bottom single we have right here. So let's put a placement block underneath each time. From that bottom block, we're going to go down into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 vertical, and we're going to do that 4 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. 1, 2, that's 4. Then from there, we're going to go down into the right 14 vertical. So count carefully. We're going to put a placement block underneath or to the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then to finish off that shape, from that bottom of that 14 vertical, we're going to put a placement block underneath it and just go down into the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. That should touch the ground. Now we're going to do a tiny bit of backtracking. From that 14 vertical, if we start from the top and find the second to last block from the top, or just the second block down, so this one right here, we can put 1 coal to the right. From that 1 coal to the right, we can put a placement block to the right side of it and go down into the right 2 flat 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Down into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Down into the right 8 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And from that 8 flat, we can kind of split into 2 directions. One is to complete the little armpit area right here, which I'm probably going to do once we touch down on the ground over there. But I'm going to just start it off. So from the first block into 8 flat, we're just going to put 1 single underneath it and mark it. Then we're going to go to the final block into 8 flat, so this one all the way on the right side over here, and put a placement block at the end and go up into the right 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Up into the right 5 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, like I said, we have to bring it to the ground now. So we're going to put our placement block to the right side each time, or underneath. And we're going to go down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Down into the right 7 singles. So we're going to count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we can delete these extra placement blocks. And as you get more comfortable with the pixel art, you might not even have to use the placement block. You might be able to do those singles with just the coal, but I wouldn't rush it. Anyways, from there now, we're going to put a placement block underneath and go down into the right 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, it touched the ground, so that's both sides of the build. Let me just move the cameraman now, and we should be good. So now that we touched down on the ground from left to right on the build, let's clarify some of the points that we missed, like the armpit and the shoulder pads, because we have a few minutes left, and I think we can get it done. So we're going to do some backtracking, starting from the right side and just kind of complete those. So over here on the 8 flat where we marked the first block going down from it, right here on the right shoulder, we're going to start there first and remove our placement block. Let's put a placement block underneath it and go down into left 4 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down into left 5 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and that should touch the ground. And from that 5 vertical, starting from the top or the bottom, if we find a third block or the center block, whichever one you want to call it, we can put 1 coal to the left side. Then we can put a placement block to the left side of that and go up into the left 5 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that completes the right armpit. But we still need to do the right shoulder pad thing. So we finished the shape right here. Let's look up and to the left a tiny bit to the 5 vertical where we had the top block marked, not the 2 flat for the chin. Right next to it, there's this 5 vertical we had marked. That's where we're gonna go next, and we can remove the placement block there and go up and to the right, 1 single, up and to the right, 2 flat, 1, 2, placement block at the end there, up and to the right, 19 flat, so count this carefully, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and like I said, on the 10th block you can just leave a marker, just so that way if you make a mistake, you know where to just delete back to the 10 and start counting again. So we're gonna count 9 more now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now you can delete all those placement blocks and just kind of resume. We're gonna get a bit curvy for this next part, so I just suggest putting your placement block underneath each time, and you should be fine as we switch directions. Whether we go down into the right or down into the left, the down is the thing they have in the common, so that way we're just gonna put our placement block underneath. So from here we're gonna go down into the right 4 flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, placement block underneath. Down into the right 3 flat, 1, 2, 3, placement block again. Down into the right 2 flat, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. Down into the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Down into the right 2 flat, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. It's kind of repetitive, but we just need these smaller numbers to kind of just create this jagged shape for the shoulder. From there, we're going to go down into the right 1 single. Down into the right 2 flat, 1, 2, placement block underneath. Down into the right 2 singles, 1, 2, and then down into the right 3 vertical, 1, 2, 3, and put a placement block underneath that. So this is where the shoulder starts curving back to the left, but like I said, since we're going down into the right and down into the left, putting your placement block underneath is the safest way to just get this part done. So now we're going to go to the left side and go down into left 1 single. Down into left 2 flat, 1, 2. Down into left 1 single again. And then down into left 2 flat 3 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. And then finally placement block underneath. 1, 2, that's 3. And as you can see, it connected to what we had waiting for it in the shoulder. You can see on the right hand camera screen, we just have this egg shape for the right shoulder blade. And that's it for the right shoulder. We can do the left shoulder real quick and then we can be done with this part for today. So we need to do the armpit and the egg shoulder for the left side. So let's fly all the way over there, and where we have this 11 flat right here, if you remember where we just started, we put this 2 vertical at the bottom of it and then mark that out. That's going to be where we start the armpit, so let's work with that. So after you remove your placement blocks, you can put a placement block underneath it and go down into the right 4 vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to touch the ground, we're just gonna go down into the right 2 vertical 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. Placement block underneath it to the right side. 1, 2, that's 2. Perfect. From that second set of 2 vertical, the one that touches the ground, we can find a top block in it. And we're going to put a placement block above it, so that way we can go up into the right 1 single, like so. We're then going to put a placement block above that, so that way we can go up into the right 5 flat. 1, 2, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from the final block in that 5 flat, we're going to do 2 things. First, we're going to put a placement block above it, and then we're going to go underneath it with our coal and put 3 going straight down. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. The reason we put that placement block above it is because we're going to use that placement block to go up and to the right, 10 vertical. So let's count carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that met up with that piece we had already here at the diagonal. So that closes out the armpit. All we have to do is do the left egg shoulder, as I call it. So let's look over to the left side over here. We have this single block marked in this 3 flat. And that's what we're going to be building off of. So kind of like what we did with the right side, we're going to be going to the left, and we're also going to be going to the right. But the thing in common they have is going up. So we're going to put our placement block on the top each time, and you should be fine. So we're going to go up and to the left 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Placement block on top of the final block. Up and to the left 2 flat, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. And then we can go back and delete these extra dirt blocks now. We're then going to go up and to the left 2 singles. So placement block 1, 2. And then let's put another placement block on top of that final set of 2 singles. So that way we can go up and to the left 2 vertical. 1, 2. And this is where the shoulder kind of starts pointing back inward. So what we can do is we're still putting our placement block on top, but we're switching direction now to the right side. And we're going to go up and to the right 2 vertical. 1, 2. Up and to the right 2 singles. 1, 2. Up and to the right 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. And let's put a placement block on the top of the end right there. From that 3 flat, since we put a placement block above it, we can go up and to the right 2 flat 5 times in a row. So count carefully. 1, 2, that's 1. 1, 2, that's 2. 1, 2, that's 3. 1, 2, that's 4. And then finally, placement block on top. 1, 2, that's 5. And we can go back now and delete these extra dirts. And we're getting ready to touch down on the right side of the shoulder, or sorry, the other side of the shoulder. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go up and to the right 3 flat. So placement block to the top or right side. 1, 2, 3. Up and to the right 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's clean up the workspace a little bit. And now it's going to get big here. We're going to go up and to the right 18 flat. So I would split it into 2 groups of 9 if you need to. But I can just count through for you guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Perfect. And we can easily just go back to the left side and delete that dirt block. And now just to bring it down to close out the shape, we can put our placement block underneath this time instead of being on the top, or to the right side. And we can go down into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. And then we can go down into the right 2 singles. 1 and 2. And you can get rid of this now. Perfect. So looking at the right hand camera screen, things look pretty evened out. So we can start the bow tie next time, or the face. I'm probably going to save the bow tie for later and just do the face. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this start to your Glamrock Freddy build. If you are, be sure to like and subscribe for more pixel art content. As always, this is Phoenix, and I'll see you guys later.